Just before this episode starts, if you enjoyed the Leg It podcast, we produce 4 exclusive bonus episodes per month for our private members club on patreon.com. For the price of £1 a week, that's just £4 a month, the price of a beer or a fancy coffee. We produce these bonus episodes that have special guests on, various topics, and there's also merchandise offers and various bonuses you can have, competitions, all kinds. Get over there, support us, support the podcast by giving just £1 a week. Link is below.
This episode of the podcast is kindly sponsored by Feel Supreme. Feel Supreme have been sponsoring the podcast for a number of weeks now. They're an incredible company. They've got the most diverse range of supplements. I've got some here, the CBD, which I've been taking, which is brilliant. The mushroom extract as well, which I've been taking once a day. They've got vitamin D3, vitamin C, a huge range of different health supplements, and you can get 10% off if you go to the code below, go to the link below, which is feelsupreme.co.uk/legit, and you get 10% off by clicking through and going through their website through that link below. Please support them. They've been a huge support of the podcast. They've got the most incredible products that I take daily, myself and Andy take daily as well. So anything you can do to support them ultimately supports us. Everything CBD, vitamin D3, vitamin C, which is obviously vitamin D3 massive at the moment, and vitamin C obviously really important for immune support. So go to the link below, click through, and you'll get 10% off your order. Rightio, it's the Leg It podcast with myself, Tom Wickstead.
It's me, Andy Grant, and this week we've got John Carragher, Michael Powell, aka Chairman and Coach of the famous Marsh Harriers.
The famous Marsh Harriers, yeah.
Welcome, boys.
Welcome, cheers, lads. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So I go on to Tom. Well, I guess it's one of the reasons me and Tom met. Obviously, I ended up writing my book on the back of... I always wanted to write a book on the back of being blown up in Afghanistan and all that, but I thought, I don't want to write a book about that. I want to do something. And when I broke that world record, the 10k record, that was the moment I thought, right, I've got something to write about now. So I made up a big part of the book. Tom read the book, and then that's how me and Tom become friends. So running, in a way, is, opened so many doors to me. And I'm always banging on to you, aren't I, Tom, about just how good running is and all that. And so... Well,
you said initially, didn't you, the first lockdown, I think we spoke about this just a second ago, but... First lockdown, you really struggled, because obviously you weren't working, you were on social media a lot. And then I remember we had a conversation a few weeks back, and I think you just started back into running, hadn't you? And you were like, I feel like $1 million.
Well, so, you know what about the running, for me, it's obviously, which we'll probably talk about in a minute, it's about being fit, but it's a mental thing as well for me. I've never really suffered mental health, and I'm very lucky and fortunate for that, but it makes you feel so much better.
Any problems? You're still running all the time.
If I've ever been arguing with Leanne, for example, or money problems, or something's doing your head in, you just go for a run, you come back, and you know exactly what you've got to do. You know exactly how to, if it's your fault for the argument, you go apologise, or if it's their fault, she apologises. It just clears it. For me personally, it clears my head unbelievably.
Yeah, it's been massive. So to have you on now talking about what running's done for you, about Marsh Harriers, about how it come about, and about plans for the future.
Yeah.
I'm excited for your time here, so nice one again.
No problem.
So, probably is a good one to, because obviously we went to the same school, didn't we, Parley?
Yeah.
Was you always into running? I can't remember.
A little bit as a kid, I always ran, but in school, not so much. It was more football in school, but I used to run as a kid with my uncle, my dad's brother Dibby. He was a great runner. And
the dairy?
Yeah, from the dairy, yeah. So we'd be tucked down the beach, and it's like the gate to the gate. It's a big run. We do it now Sunday morning. I'd always be flying up and down there, my brothers and my cousin.
How old was you then?
7, 8, 9, 10.
Was you really?
That age, yeah. And my other uncle on my mum's side, Stephen, he was a good runner. And so we'd do the locks from Bootle to the locks. It's like 4 miles. So I'd do that as a kid with him. He'd have his bin bag on and all that, and I'd just run with him. He'd throw a few press-ups at the end, and we'd run back. And at the time, you don't think it's a big deal, but now it's a big deal. 4 miles as a kid.
People don't
or an
realise.
adult, they don't realise.
People don't know
no.
how long a mile is, and
No.
people say you only ran 2 miles, and you think, see, I'm going to go and run it then.
Go and have a
That's how far it is.
far you
People just think 1 or 2, just a small number it is, but in a mile it's a long time away. And if you're not used to running, especially, and you're brand new at it, like Tom's going to be soon, aren't you, Tom? And you'll find out soon enough.
Yeah.
Tom,
Mate, listen out,
By the end of this podcast, he'll have you signed up for the Harriers at the end of this.
Pay the £10 something.
Have you ever watched the Barkley Marathon on Netflix?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah,
You know,
It's mad, isn't it?
Documentary.
Yeah,
Documentary.
mate, you need
It's unreal. Have you seen it?
you need to
Yeah.
watch it.
Yeah.
You need
What
to
is it
watch
like? It's crazy distance, is it? Or
Don't even get him started on that.
is it the same distance as a normal marathon, or is
No,
it a
it's
bit
like
more to
an
it?
unofficial marathon. It's like a 5-day event. And
Oh, fucking hell.
yeah, sorry, 5 marathon event. You got so many hours.
But you have to run them anti-clockwise, then clockwise, and
Don't, because we'll be on this next week.
One thing at a time, please, Tom.
Thing at a time.
No, I only say that because ever since I watched that documentary and we had Rob Pope on, I
Yeah.
don't know if you watched that episode.
Seen that.
Have you seen that episode? Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
I don't know if you know, but
No.
there's a guy we had on, Rob Pope. I always have to mention him because he's an unbelievable human being. He ran across America 5 times.
Oh, sorry, I didn't recognise the name, but the story I recognise. Yeah, I've heard the story.
422 days, just under 16,000 miles. So it was about 40 miles a day, wasn't it?
it was 42 miles a day every day for like 422 days.
I imagine the things he's seen there. And
Yeah.
what he's got up to there.
Well, what was so good about it, and I probably
Even America, I love America because
Yeah.
I've worked there
Yeah.
and holidayed there, and I love it. So I'd love to do that. It's having the time, knowing the money and the kids, you know.
well, that's what there's all the podcast there was just about his attitude to life, though, and it was like, you know, just if you want to do something, do it for them, you know, all that. You know what I mean? And,
Yeah, saved up
And-
30 grand, didn't he?
yeah.
Imagine the conversation telling Leanne, I'm going for 4 years to run to America.
But that's what I think's so
This
important,
Trump
though.
fella said to me, right, I run to America.
That's what's so important, and again, we'll get into a bit more of the running club later, but what the running club I love about it is yeah, there's some fantastic runners, some real serious great runners, you know, you two being, you know, two of the unbelievable ones already, innit? But it's that side of it as well, all the other things that it can bring as well, you know, like the trips, the social aspect of it and stuff.
Me and Michael were talking before on the way down here, and obviously Michael's not a big drinker at all really, but I like a drink on Saturday night. We were just saying before, the Sunday run sometimes a half for me, because I like having you worked all week and you ran all week really well, and then you want to have a few cans in the house, and now the summer's coming up, the sun's going to be out,
It's our first day of sun here.
So I might miss a few Sunday runs, but I say that the social aspect of it it's not as important as the running, but it's up there for me with the running, because and especially our group being 200 strong, you've got to get people together who don't really know each other. And we had our first little outing, it was about 6 months into the club, because we couldn't get out because obviously the lockdown and so forth, and we got one, and it was great for everyone to be together. Oh, you're so-and-so, oh, you're him. But then the next weekend, I remember you last week buried and you were dancing like this and you were doing that. It gets everyone together. It's like a football mentality, I think, and that is just for me as important as the running side of it, to get people together and get people to know each other more.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
And some people aren't blessed with having loads of friends, and this gets people to meet new people and meet new friends, and then it opens up all kinds of doors for everyone then.
Massively, yeah. That was a big part of his of Rob's story, because again, not that I would have found him boring, but if he went or just got up every day and I ran, and then I went home and I slept and I got up and I ran, and you'd be like, fucking hell, lad, you spent a year in America and that's all the only story you've got.
No stories.
So we had a few decent stories, didn't we, which was
incredible
good.
stories from like it's like cat trying to knock on people's doors in the middle of Tennessee to sleep in their back garden and then go to bars.
Imagine knocking on the door and not realising what's going to open that door. Could be something serious going on.
and then he was there at the 2016 when the general election was going on.
Trump was getting in.
So we saw all of that. If you ever get to watch it, mate, honestly, it's well worth it. Really. That and the Barkley Marathon there, which so it really is. Yeah, so
Lazarus, isn't it? Lazarus Lake, is it?
Didn't someone escape from a prison, didn't they? And they tried to basically recreate it.
Recreate the run, yeah.
Let me pull this up here.
And you've got to collect a page out of a book. So whatever your bib number is, you might be number 60. So you've got to find this book. There's like so many books out. You take number 60 out. Yeah. Then you take it back, and then you get another number. So you got to go and get that page out of that book.
It's to prove that you actually.
It's ours have just lit up there. Honestly.
Well, and also the way the The entry fee, I think, is a packet.
Harriers, isn't it?
I think it's a pack of cigarettes, isn't
Yeah,
it?
And it's a car registration plate from your hometown.
Is it?
Yeah.
That sounds weird, that.
It's proper hillbilly weird, but it's cool,
That
man.
fella's picture before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Did you see the guy go, Gary Robbins? You heard of Gary Robbins? Big ginger beard. They done it together. There was two of them. I think the other guy was from France. There's a few of these spin-offs off this, and they went round together and then back round. And if you get to the fifth one, like 3 laps, it's called the fun run, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you get to the 5th lap, and if you're used to it together, or me and John are together, you just have to split up. And Gary Robbins got lost on the way back, so he came back the opposite way. He was 6 seconds over the cut-off point. 6 seconds.
That's heartbreaking, that, isn't it?
6 seconds over the 60-hour mark.
Over the 60-hour mark, he never finished.
So you never, oh my
He never
God.
Just
finished
think
it.
me with the running, right? I love the marathons, and Joe, but when you've done a marathon, after 26.2 miles, you're done. Like, it does look good, it sounds great, but like all those ultra marathons, I just know I haven't got it in me.
Yeah.
I'd have to do one, because we're planning to do one, but we are doing one, Leeds Liverpool Canal. That's one of our events.
done
We're going to
that,
do
yeah.
I
over
walked
3
it.
days.
Yeah,
So we're going to do a 54-mile one day, the same the next day, and the last day is like 20 miles. But that's going to be... I've got to do a club, and so is he. I think it's really, but we've got to do it, because, you know... But that's going to be tough.
120 miles, roughly, is it?
Yeah, in 3 days.
I think it's a little bit more,
It's
mate.
126 it is.
Yeah.
Because I walked, so for my 30th, I wanted to have a big party, but do it a bit different. And Robbo, who's in the group as well, his little lad was born with like his, I think his left or right leg wasn't forming as it would have hoped. So he ends up having his leg amputated. So I know because I got injured through the Marines, all my prosthetics are paid for. Whereas if you're on the NHS, you're not.
Yeah.
So we done a bit of a fundraiser for him, and we walked the Leeds Liverpool Canal. There's, I think 5 of us, and we just done it Monday to Friday, like we just done 30 mile a day. We done. Fucking again, because I'm an alright runner, I thought, fucking, I was only walking 30 mile a day.
It's hard.
Hey, it was fucking broken at the end, you know.
Michael Wolvan done that with you, didn't he?
his
I seen
blisters
bullet
feet.
after that.
But you know when you run, right, because obviously on that run, we're going to obviously run a lot slower than we do normally. But I think when sometimes running slower,
It's harder.
it
I
hurts
do,
your
yeah.
hips, because I don't know if you're used to running a certain speed or a certain way.
It's your gait will change,
Yeah.
the way you run will change.
It's going to be short. I'm not looking forward to it, you know, honestly, I'm not.
That'd be tough.
Yeah.
Have you like parleyed you running as a kid or?
No, football. From Bootle and Marsh Lane and stuff like that, and going to Savio, it was just football. Obviously with James and my brother, it was just football. And I loved it, to be fair, footy. But then, James was on one of the weeks about me and Michael's football career.
Yeah.
What's that called?
Yeah, but football, and then I just got into it. I was always a decent runner. I was one of those at sports, pretty good all rounder at sports. And I remember we went in St James's School, and a teacher called Mr Rourke. And he's passed away now, but he was a boss fella, boss head teacher, and we done there in the cross country. I can't remember what school it was. And I ran out, and I blew out too fast. And I had like a panic attack, and I didn't finish the race.
This was like our 5k a couple of weeks ago, that, weren't it?
Yeah, honestly, yeah, because sometimes you get too excited and you just go, and then your breathing goes all wrong, and your head falls off, and you just go, I'm done. But I was in junior school, so I did it, and the next year he said, just take your time, Mr Rourke, take your time, relax, and I fucking pissed it by a mile, honest to God, pissed it. And I got right, I had a liking it there, but then when you're going out, when you're younger, you drink and you're playing footy, so there's not really much time for running. But then, my dad's best friend, Paul Buckley, he passed away of cancer a good few years ago now, and I thought, I want to try and do something, because he passed away in the Woodlands Hospice. I thought I want to try and do something to raise money. I thought, what's the craziest thing I could do now? Because I was still going out drinking and I thought a marathon. So I've done 2 marathons in a month. I've done Manchester and Madrid. And we raised a few quid for the Woodlands Hospice, but then I got into it.
Got the bug.
It's good, this, you know. As again, if you argue with someone or you got something in your mind, you go for a run, it just clears your mind. Brilliant. And then from then, we just started doing a marathon a year.
Was it competitive or you just wanting to?
I thought I was doing, well, at the time, for my ability at the time, I was doing good, and I thought I was doing really well. But now, Pauli's coming to the frame of it, and he knows a lot more than I do, and he's just said, no, you're doing this wrong. Basically, he's saying you're doing shit, basically. You're doing this, like you're doing that wrong. A few tweaks, and now, I'd say I can probably compete a bit with a few people. Not to the winners. I'm never going to win a marathon. No, that's just out there. But I can get some serious times now. Like I'm trying to do the 3-hour marathon in Berlin, which for me, my last marathon was 3:50, so I'm knocking 50 minutes off.
Bloody hell.
Which is, yeah, exactly. That's what I thought.
Once I first mentioned this to you, it was like, no chance. There was like, no way.
No.
And like, we done our first run. It's, what are we on now? It's tomorrow.
Is it?
It's a year tomorrow where me and John...
Got me a cake.
So, yeah, you got me a cake. So it's like the friendship thing. Me and John, we're friends before this. It's like...
We knew of each other, but
we
didn't
knew
really...
each other and...
Yeah, how
Where it was? Do you remember where it was? Neely's funeral.
Neely's funeral. And we talking about running. I think I'd just done I was coming up to Berlin and I'm going for 3 hours in Berlin. It's like, fucking hell. For Berlin, 3 hours for a marathon for amateur runners. It's like the pinnacle for amateur runners, really.
It's massive,
To break 3 hours. And so I was working on a little programme myself to execute the 3 hours.
And what was your time before that?
4:05 and
Was it?
yeah, 4:05 in Liverpool and
4:05.
4:05. No, 4:05 and 3:45 in Madrid. But then my little boy was born then, so like now I represent him, so took it a bit more serious to show him, and like now he's got to go and be 2:59 in Berlin when he's older. So that's my thing. Now he's got I'm representing him sort of things now.
Yeah.
So when I'm coming up to do runs now, it's like he's 4 at the end of March. I tell him like I am going to get, so next marathon I do is Chicago in October. I'm going to go for 2:45. So I'm going to tell him 2:44. So he doesn't know what it is. But
That's your thing,
I
though.
know.
Yeah.
So when we done the Liverpool half marathon, first time I ran with the Marsh and Harriers, I had no right to. I was injured. I was doing a lot of yoga at the time to deal with my knee, and I said to them, my best was 1:24, and I said to them, I'm going to do 1:18 to the baby, and I got on the front and I just feel there the wind's hammering in your face every year, and I could have given up and got 1:22. But I thought, I've told him now.
But you've said it, it's out there, isn't it?
He knows,
Yeah.
so in my head he knows, and I went and got 1:17. But if I never told him, I would have
Probably backed off a bit.
just backed off in the wind and went 1:24 to 1:22 is a big 2 minutes off.
It's funny, isn't it? It's funny.
You don't realise, do they?
That kind of thing for your kids, or like when you say someone to your friend or your family or something, what that can do to help bring you on.
That's why I think it's good to put it out there, what you're going to do.
Yeah.
It's called something that, it's called like the something effect, where if you tell people and you put it out there, it puts like a pressure on you to then do it.
More determination.
It's called something, yeah.
Because as you know yourself with the running, there's times where you just think, I can't be asked again, I'm done.
Yeah.
You just got to sort of push through it.
That thing with saying to your lad and that, I remember when I think I said this story before, but when I was breaking my 10k record, a few, like my 2 best mates out the Marines, who were like super fit and that, I was telling them, and obviously it was a double-edged sword because you're trying to make a big thing of it, so I'm putting it all over social media.
Pressure.
But then the more you talk about it, the more pressure is.
Yeah.
And everyone else is going, oh, good luck and all that. But my mates who proper knew me were like, lad, I hope you fucking do this. Because you're going to look like a tit otherwise, If it's 37:17, it's for 10k, yeah.
That's quick. That's moving, isn't it?
Yeah, bang on 6-minute mile pace, but I just love that kind of the pressure. It's like, I know what you mean. Once you've told someone, especially your lad, it's the pressure to, right, come on and...
It's like I videoed them, all of them. I've got all them on my phone, like to like show them. Like, there's me telling you, and then you go and do it. So
do you video as well?
Yeah, I videoed them, yeah. So you just tell them, and then you've got to go and do it. And if you truly believe it, whatever it is, I'm soon going to go and do a 2:30 marathon because I believe I will. If you truly believe it, then you'll achieve it.
Yeah.
If you put the right work in,
the effort
you
and the
will
time,
do it. You will do it. Because I went from just mediocre running really to 2:59. I designed this program, and then Louis Farrell, Sergeant Major in the army, he's a good mate of mine. He's done that Leeds Liverpool. He's an animal running wise, but he'll admit it himself, he was a plodder. And then once I done the 2:59, I was like, you've inspired me, I want to do a 3-hour marathon. So me and him went out on the 10 miler of a little session I designed.
When you say you're designing, who's designing these? Just you?
Me,
Yeah, and what are you doing? How do you bring it down from that? Was it 3:45 to
3:45, and the actual, I went from 3:45 to 4:05. It's like the thing of, I thought, I can do this marathon thing easy. So you take your foot off the gas a bit, and then you go to 4:05, and I have now got to go back. It was Liverpool as well, it was here. This is now like a thing where I've got to go back and beat this.
End of October, isn't it?
Do you know the thing of
24th of
Oxford
October.
Road with you, where we say Oxford Road? It's a demon what you've got to go and beat. It's like,
Yeah.
and so the session was, it's you find your time. Now we're going to do this with the 10k world record when we go and smash that again. So for the 3-hour marathon, it's 6:52. So you've got to go to the edge of like 6:50s. Now I was nowhere near that. You go and find that 6:50 for a mile, drop off for a mile, get back there for a mile, and then like when I suggested it to John, it was miles away. It's like fucking no chance. It was like,
I remember the first one we did.
And it was a year last year.
We used to meet at the lakeside in Crosby 5:30 Tuesday morning. See, this is how committed we was. We were meeting at 5:30 before work.
And how many of this have you just...
Oh, sorry.
How many of you at the
start? At the start. Because it was after... It was about 6-7 of us, maybe 10 of us sometimes. And then the gym was open, so you bring your kit bag, and then after the run you go to the gym, get showered, and then go to work. So that's how committed we were. But it was February, wasn't it?
February.
I was going in January, and partly come in February, and it was freezing, cold, windy, rain, and we were just running in it. And we looked, but then he said to me, "Come down, we're going to do a mile on, mile off." Yeah. So mile on was, I looked at it, the other day, it was 6:30, mile on. But for me at that time, it was fucking like you say, bolt sprinting.
Yeah.
And your heart coming out your chest, go, come on, stay with it. And then you have a mile off, was like about 8, wasn't it?
7:30's 8, something like that,
I've never ever ran like that. We only done 4 miles, so 2 reps.
Did we?
And then we got up to 6.
Yeah,
but before work, it's a lot before, I was fucking knackered in work. But for me, it was a big difference, big game changer for me, because...
I think it's when you're getting up at that time and you're doing those sessions, from those structured sessions, it's a big jump in it from being a bit of a fair weather runner to then actually thinking, right, I want to give this a go now.
And you know what? It was a game changer for me there. I'd never thought to do stuff like that. I was running. I'd done 4 marathons before I met Pauli. And the times are always varied the same. About 5 or 10 minutes of each other. I was thinking, why am I getting any better? I was just doing the same runs all the time. In different distances, but the same pace, the same way. And that's what it was. Because with Pauli, obviously, it's minute on, minute off, mile on, mile off.
You've got to change it up, haven't you? There's all
slow runs, it's all different.
You can't run fast all the time. People go and run quick all the time. I do 1 or 2 quick ones a week. Like Sunday, I done a tempo run. And now, tomorrow, I'll put 3 minutes on them miles and just go easy. You can't go hard all the time. So you got to learn how to... It's like, you go into them sessions, you work hard and then you recover. You can't go from that hard to hard all the time.
Yeah.
Your body's going to give in.
End up injured.
John, what was it like? Because I've never done a marathon ever.
Have you ever been into running, Tom?
Cross country when I was at school, but apart from that,
the hardest thing is getting back into it, honestly. So if you give it a shot next few weeks, I think you'll start getting into it.
But what I wanted to ask was, when you start, obviously you'd never done a marathon before.
No.
If you've never done a marathon, there are plenty of people who listen to this who've never done a marathon, myself included in that group. How did you train for a marathon? Because I imagine a lot of people just go, I'm going to do a marathon in 2 months.
Yeah.
I'll do a few runs every other day.
I've always said I like something in front of me. So I went on the internet and I used the same program for the 4 marathons I did. I went on the internet and there's all programs saying lift this weight, do this, and it was too confusing. The one I used, I can't remember in the site I found it on, but it was just dead simple. Monday run 3 mile, Tuesday rest. Wednesday run 4 mile rest, and I just followed it. And I'm very good at following things to the T. Ask Pauli, he gives me a program every Sunday for the week, and I just follow it to the T. And I like to just see something in front of me. So I weren't winging it, making it up, because I didn't know what I was doing basically.
Of course, yeah.
I was just following this one off the internet, but it was a beginner's program, and then I'd follow the same one for 4 marathons, and obviously weren't getting any better. And
when you say weren't getting any better, what times were you doing?
My first one was 3:45 in Manchester. And I just
see, that's a fucking good time.
But then the next one was like 3:40. My best one was 3:35. So that was a really good one in Barcelona. But again, it was all around the same area. I never broke 3.5 hours ever. Which for amateur runner, it was like probably still drinking too much of a weekend.
It's fucking really good, man.
3:35 in Barcelona,
Yeah,
with the heat.
Yeah, to be fair though, it wasn't like summer, but I think it was early springtime, yeah. And I've only ever done 1 full marathon in England. All mine have been abroad. I love going.
That's the other aspect of the running, though, isn't it? It's a great way to go and see another city.
I always bring Leanne, and I make Parks here. Vicky come to Barcelona, and I say to them, listen, at the end, make sure you've got a apple, a banana, a bottle of water, 6 cans of lager, and I said, make sure you got that. I'm happy. People are sitting there with the silver foam over them. I'm like, that, have a cigarette if I get a lager. I don't smoke normally, only when I drink and smoke like this. I shouldn't say that, I'm not going to that.
That's brilliant.
I mean, make a weekend of it. Friday on sightseeing, whenever we are. Saturday, you go to the expo centre, get your bib number and have a nice meal together, and then Sunday you run, and then go for a big drink.
Do you know what? A friend of mine, talking about running, he did the Pyongyang marathon in North Korea. Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah.
North Korea?
Said it was full. Said it was full of international people, all over. Yeah. Even though it's North Korea, they're not allowed journalists in. But if you're going for the marathon, then you can.
I love the fact of doing things in countries like that. I want to get these big 6 me apart. I got a pact. This thing called the
world majors.
The world majors: New York, London, Chicago, Boston, Berlin, and Tokyo. By the end of this year, we'll have 3 done each.
Which is
I'll have New York, Chicago, and London done. Boston's next year, and then
Chicago this year too.
Chicago this year
I
as well.
think you'll have 4 and I'll have 3.
Yeah, but then the last one we're going to do Tokyo together.
Yeah.
In like 2 years' time.
That'll be about it, that.
And then you get this like, you want to see the medal? Yeah, try and get it up now if you can.
Yeah.
Albert's major with. It's like
It's massive.
It's like a little
double
medal.
T.
It's like
So
6
it's
medals of all the
ABO,
ones you've
double
already
T,
got.
yes.
Like all the
So is it all done through the same website type thing? Yeah.
I want to say, Andy, some woman told me about it in New York, some Swedish woman.
major.
And I googled
World
it.
majors.
I googled it.
Yeah,
I want one of them.
Would be some achievement, that. I done the Paris half marathon, and it's fucking brilliant to do it abroad.
Places like that, there you go.
Yeah, it's a cool
Not many
looking.
people have got one of them.
No. That's the other thing, yeah. Not many people will have that either, will they? Yeah.
No, what the fuck, no?
2 lads from Bill getting it.
Course they
Yeah.
Same day. Can't deal.
I know. Yeah, but we had so I done that 259, and then I thought that's a good programme, man. So Louis Farrell, my mate, he's known as an animal man, honestly. He's ran the lead to Liverpool Canal. He's serious runner in the army. And I thought, he went, I want to do this sub 3. So we went out and done the 1 mile on, 1 mile off. And it was like, fuck, this is going to be hard work, this, for me, more so than him. I thought he's miles away. Yeah, and he'll admit he was miles away at the start. And we were going through the programme. I tried my programme on him. And we got so far in, he got sent to Falklands, he got locked in the Falklands with lockdown. So we missed 6 months. We just completed before Christmas in 2:57. We done 11, how many laps did we do? I think we done 9 laps around Crosby in the pissing down.
You've just done your own one, just cracked your own.
Yeah,
Wow.
and it was just to prove this programme works. Like, and we done 2:50.
So imagine if you'd done it on a better day, you'd get
Well, that's what I mean,
2:55
it's
probably.
like, the wind was in our face, and we looked. We'd been going to Sefton Park. So I done my London man, Sefton Park, to horrible course, and we were going there and doing like 18 miles, 20 miles. And we said, let's get a better route now. So we went in Crosby, and the rain was lashing, storm in our face, and we looked at each other, and I thought, he's going to pull this here and go, let's regroup and go again. And I said, it gets done we said, it gets done today. We had our mate Danny Griffiths on the bike. He was
freezing, wasn't he, Danny?
Danny, mate, giving us gels, opening waters, Lucas Eats, and Louis' mate Chad as well. He had a good shift with us. And then we were up to we had 1 lap left to go. Worked out. We either had to go over 8-minute miles for the next 3 miles. So it was his day, so I jumped out with these, got the gear ready, and Louis done the last lap and came in 2:57. So if you do the work there, it will. You can do it. It's
a lot of hard work, but you're right, yeah, it is.
It's worth the hard work, because no one ever takes that 3-hour marathon away from you. You know what I mean?
And I think, mate,
you celebrate afterwards, man.
Yeah, I think as well, in this day and age, right, where you can, there's so many different ways to be successful. People can, this overnight kind of success, you go on Love Island, you come out, and then you're you got 1 million followers, and now you're this idol, and now you're there's so many ways to be successful, and it's measured in different ways. And someone could think Kim Kardashian's super successful, and then some people will think running, it's there for everyone to see. It's fact. It's I've ran a marathon, or I've ran 10k, 5k in that time, and no one can go,
Take that away.
I got that from being fucking super famous or super. It's your fucking hard work and your
I
determination.
was saying before, Andy, about obviously when we started and I was doing 3, 4, 5s and I wasn't doing that good. I'm doing better now. That is still. I don't want to take away from people who've done 4 hours and 4.5 hours.
Oh yeah.
To complete a marathon, even to sign up for one takes bollocks.
It's the hardest thing I've done. You know, I've done quite a few hard, challenging things in the Marines and stuff. The marathon for me is the hardest thing I've ever done.
Yeah. Which is the hardest part of it? I know it sounds so stupid, but is it?
Now with this one, I'll tell you, Tom, it's everyone, most runners will know it's called the wall. People call it the wall. People might call it different things. That 20 mile, 22, 21 mile mark, and something happens to you, honest to God, your head just falls off and you just come and all your body starts aching. Because in training, you never really go up to 26 miles. You go maybe to 22 max, and then you taper down the weeks before. And when it's that last few miles you haven't done in the training, and the pain. It's a mental block
because you surely like the last 2 miles as a crowd even more than there would be. And
everyone cheers you on, and what's great because sometimes you have your name on your bib and like people go, come on John, or come on Michael, and it gets you through. But that is the hardest part by a mile. The last well, it's obviously going to be the hardest part because the last bit, but it's not just the legs, it's in your brain, your head. Your head just, I don't know what happens. It's called the wall.
I said to you, Tom, didn't I, when I'd done the marathon, I'd only ever ran, I think, 18 miles, so I hadn't ran long enough. And once I got around that time, around about Sefton Park, it was coming out to Sefton Park, I was gone, and your mind starts playing tricks on you. I was making excuses to like thinking, because of my leg, I was going, if I smash my leg on the floor and the prosthetic breaks, that's what can anyone say to me? Unlucky lads. And I was thinking of like all mad excuses to quit.
Jamie A was saying, we were on the, I don't know what the run was, but you know when the run gets hard and you're playing tricks in your mind, Jamie A was saying one time, you like make up an excuse and go, I got jumped there. You know, out on your own, go, I got jumped, I couldn't finish the run. But that's what you're playing them tricks in your head.
Yeah.
You can
pretend
you got ran over, got jumped or whatever.
It was horrible.
I can imagine that playing with your head because someone, I can't remember who it was anyway, they ran a marathon, or at least tried to anyway. They didn't finish it, and they could feel like they thought they were having a bit like a panic attack. They thought the heart was fucking going to explode, and then that's where their head fell off then. And then like they thought, I'm actually like, I've never run a marathon before. I'm having a fucking heart attack. Well, you're not, are you? It's just
it's how quick then it then spirals out, and then shit, is it? Maybe I should stop. Maybe I should slow down. Should I slow down?
I've always had the idea where people say, you don't stop it, you don't stop it. And when I've been running before, obviously with our one and Berlin we won because we're in a big group together. I've run every marathon by myself because no one was really into running back then. Well, I didn't know Paulie back then, but I was always doing it by myself. And most marathons I've stopped about 20 miles for like 10 seconds. Like say my hamstring was sore, I'd stop, I'd stretch that for 10 seconds and then go again. So sometimes I've stopped about 2 or 3 times on the last 6 miles, but just to stretch, not to give in and then carry on. But I remember I was in Florence doing the Florence Marathon. And
you've been around,
I know, I've got to say, I love fucking passport.
Well, even then, I don't have a passport. I've lost 6 passports. I was running down, I was about 16 miles in, and I hit the wall a bit too early on this one, about 18 miles I hit the wall in this Florence, but some foreign fella, he stopped, I was going, come on my friend, come on. Because I talk to everyone I'm running about and cheer people up and get people, goes, come on my friend, thank you, he said. So I ran away then, and then about 22 miles in, I'm walking, and this fucking same fella goes, my friend, come on. I'm like, you bastard. I didn't have want to see him.
Yeah, and that's what I love about the marathons, mate. It's that whole thing about like the hard work thing. You know, you see people all shapes, sizes, ages, don't you?
Yeah.
And it's like you're saying before, whether you get a 4-hour marathon, if whatever like your age is, whatever, that time could be unbelievable for that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think when you've done a marathon, it's respect regardless, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
It's 26 miles is not normal to run.
Like 5-hour marathons and 6-hour marathons, I take my hat off to them because it's more time on the feet.
Yeah. I think it's harder in some ways.
It is harder.
What's this? Sorry.
Like 5-6 hour marathons.
If someone's taking a bit longer.
I take my hat off to them.
That must be more mental.
Because that ain't half marathon we done, there be someone, it felt like the easiest one, it was the quickest one I'd done. But it felt like the easiest because it was over quick. I was off my feet quicker. Don't get me wrong, it was hard. But when I used to do, I remember doing like a 1:45 half marathon in Dublin. And that's harder than the quicker one I've done. Because you're on your feet longer. Do you know what I mean? It's like, if you're out there longer for 1:45 and 5 hours for a marathon, 6 hours.
I remember we were in Barcelona and we'd finished the parks, he'd come in about 4.5 hours and we were waiting for him, he'd come in, high-fived and all, I did a kind of lager and that, and then we walked out the strip, and there must be a cut-off point for every marathon. I think it's about 6 hours for every marathon. If you're not finished in 6 hours, the bus comes behind, dead slow, and says, come on, get your hands on, come on, you're finished, and pull them all in. But this big fella was running, and he was just round the corner was the finish line, and the bus was and we go, no, don't pick him up, let him finish. But I don't know if he got fucking pulled over. But imagine that, getting all that way in the bus, and you can see the finish line.
Heartbreaking,
he must have let him finish. It would have been our last year, but like.
Yeah. What are the world record? What is the world record then for a mile? Do you know?
For a mile?
Sorry, for a marathon. For a marathon.
The unofficial one is Kipchoge done the sub 2, didn't he?
I remember watching that.
Official, like, but
see what pace is that? That is just ridiculous.
Mate, you can't even, like, I'd struggle to keep up with it for like a lap of the track.
You seen the treadmill they do?
Yeah.
In the expo, so they'll put an expo in Berlin. So when I was in Berlin, 2019.
You can get it up if you want.
Yeah, get it on go on YouTube, Tom.
And it's at his pace, and you see how long you can run on it.
You turn up getting your bib thinking you're dead excited to do a marathon, and you go, wonder how fast these guys do
You
it.
see people on there in jeans and that.
Lasts for like 10 seconds on it.
What
type in like a treadmill for like marathon world record or something. Type in
a marathon world record pace.
Like
treadmill.
Yeah.
Treadmill, yeah.
Do you know what? That might be different. There it is. That's him.
It's funny, this.
Jeans and gets
in this one.
Yeah, so get on YouTube and Google this. Yeah. Runner's attempt to the world record pace. Mate, you again, you know, sometimes when you're watching them and they're running their London Marathon and they're like that.
Do you look at he's doing this?
He's doing, I think he done 2:01:39, and when I was in Berlin, Michele done 2:01:41. He was 2 seconds off the world record.
I don't think you understand 2 hours for a marathon. That's
it's insane.
I know for a fact, right? He said to me, we can do 3 hours. I didn't believe at the start, but now I'm starting to see it. Yeah, it's going to happen. I thought it's crazy pace that, but we're getting there, and we're going to do it. Then there's another one we're going to try and do. After this, 2:45. But then for me, I know that will be, if I get 2:45, that would be my limit. It's just not possible to go any faster for me, I don't think, than 2:4 or even 3 hours. It's a lot. So people are just designed to go a certain speed, I think. But part disagrees, don't you?
I disagree.
Really?
I disagree. Well, I now do an online coaching and more personal coaching called Your Performance Coaching, alongside with Marsh and Harriers, and I believe, well, I said 3:45 at first, but then I've done it as 4:05 to 3 hours. He's going from 3:50 to 4 hours. So I believe...
Where do you think the limit is for you then? 2:20s, 2:15s, or... Because that's...
I'm going to go 2:30, mate.
That's the top end. 2:30s.
That's elite, that.
Yeah.
Elite level.
Not top end. It's not top end. I think it might be... I don't believe it's top end for me, but I love coaching. It lights me up. It lights me up getting my times. But when we go to Berlin, and it'd be John, Danny Griffiths, Nelly, Andy Barton, Powie, Louis Farrell, there'll be a little pack of us together, and regardless if I go to Chicago 2 weeks later and get 2:45, that will be better for me, because it's helping other people, you know what I mean?
Seeing all your runners.
We're on the programme now together. It's a little journey of a year, 9 months. I can't take someone from 4:05, 4:20 in 3 months. It's like a year, maybe 2 years worth.
Yeah.
But if you want to do it, we can.
Mate, what's the name of your coaching? Because I can plug it.
Performance coaching. It's on Instagram.
I'll put a thing on the
We're on a
links.
good little journey now on it, and he didn't believe at first. We were at my uncle's funeral, and I said, let's do a 3 hour, because these ballots, you can't rely on ballots to get into the world majors. So own your place and go and qualify for it.
And what time do you need to qualify?
So I qualified for Chicago in Berlin. Chicago was 3:10, so that got me place for Chicago, and then I'll run there, and I'll run probably a 2:45. So you qualifying then for any of them, but you all have different times. 3 hours, 3:05.
So 2:45 qualifies for everything, I think.
2:45 qualifies for Berlin.
But
and
that's
Tokyo.
why it's hard to get that, you know. But then Boston next year is 3:10, or 3:05, which will easily get that.
But
in
it
Berlin,
goes up in age, so we're in the youngest bracket, I think. And then as you get older, they'll put 5-10 minutes on it. So Andy Barton was saying he'll be in the next bracket up from us. So it's a little
It's
bit
great
easier
incentives
for him.
what they do as well, that though, isn't it?
It is,
To,
so
you know what I
can
mean?
just bounce them the 6.
I never realised you could by running a quick time. I thought it was
Yeah.
all done on ballots.
Well,
except
I did for a
the
long
I've
time.
paid for all my marathons because obviously at the time I weren't running as fast to qualify, but now I said I want to at least try and qualify, but I will qualify for Boston because what we're doing with Parry now, we've got that in the bag, no problem. But Tokyo, I want to qualify for Tokyo, and which that requires a 2:45.
I believe
So
you go,
that-
right, sorry John,
Look on.
you go from 3, right, and then you're at 3, and then you go from 3, 350, 345, and then 245, 250, and then we go down to 230, and you gotta believe it, because look where we was at Neely's funeral there, to where we are now already. We're only, Nelly's, the lad Neil Hume there, he's 3 months into his programme with me, and we're going to go and do a 90-minute half. He was like 240, 140 for the half 3 months
Big
ago.
differences, yeah.
It's massive. And he set the time. I asked for times, and we go and do a little 5k run at the start of it. See if you turn up, and then if you really want it, you'll turn up. It's easy to send a programme out to someone who hasn't turned up. So we'll do that 5k, see how you run, what your gate's like and stuff like that, see our time. We work out times from the 5k, and he is absolutely flying.
Yeah.
He was 3:45, and he wanted the 3:45 marathon. He's going for Berlin 3 hours now.
Bloody hell.
Did you think Mo Farah had to put his name in a ballot each year?
No, obviously the professional.
Mo Farah didn't get the run on the marathon. Oh, sorry, Mo, come back next year when you can.
Yeah,
Right,
what's
let's
these
watch
people
this
going?
Go on.
So this is just running at the world record pace.
He's got no chance.
You just don't realise how fast it is.
Yeah, there's his time there. 2:01:39.
And that
That
hasn't,
official world record.
That's official world record, yeah.
That Berlin. That's Berlin. Look at
Yeah, 200 metres in 34 seconds.
yeah, she's all right clapping, but try doing that over.
So it's like running the 100 metres in 17 seconds continually.
Yeah.
See, look at him acting hard now. Look at him fall over in a minute.
Like I could run 100 metres. I think the fastest I've done it is about 13 seconds.
There's 13 miles an hour. He's run that for 2 hours.
Jesus.
When you do the 400 metres in the 400 metres on, don't you?
Yeah.
1 minute on, minute off.
Minute on, minute off. It's different
And
sessions,
we're
isn't it?
running like 4 minutes 30 seconds per mile, but you can only last that for 100 metres.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
sorry,
think he's
400
quicker than
metres.
that. He's quicker
It's
than that
mental. I remember my
continuously.
dad fucking doesn't fucking run or nothing. Fucking got a big ale gut on him, and when I done my world record, that 6 minute mile pace, he went, "You didn't even look like you were running that fast, you know." I was like, "Fuck off."
It doesn't from the side.
No,
does
it doesn't. No.
So he's beating that 2:01 though here because it
Yeah,
says
this was an unofficial. This was just to break 2 hours, like that. It is.
What's
humanly
happening
possible.
there? They've gone all these people in front of him to stop the wind and them all little things like that. And obviously that's him there in the white in the
Yeah,
powder,
yeah.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a unofficial one. But he didn't do it, did he?
He's done it.
He's done it.
He
He's done
went
under
over by 25 seconds a couple of years ago, and then
Yeah.
they designed this new shoe. and
So
that.
they're setting the pace then
Yeah.
for this
Yes,
under 2 hours.
Because they done the race, the car track, didn't they first?
Monza.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Monza.
The thing is though, again, that doesn't look that fast, does it? It really
No.
doesn't. Well, it looks fast, but it doesn't look as fast as a world record.
It's the stride as well, isn't it? How big it is, the stride.
Doesn't say no.
No.
That is insane, that isn't it? So that's 1 hour 59 minutes.
Yeah, he gets under 2 hours.
And that's what I say to people all the time. Like when people either read my book or they've seen my story and they say about how much running's helped me, and then they kind of get into the running a bit and they're like, "Oh, I'm really enjoying this," but and then you can see it's like a series of events. They first get into running, they go, "Fucking hell, this is great," and then they enjoy it a bit more. Then they start getting competitive. And when someone says to me, "I want to get my time down," the first thing I say is, you need to join a running club.
Yeah.
You need to, if you want to, you go from like it's exactly the same as you, John, saying that you're just you done your marathons, got good times, but then the second you join a club and you meet people and you're bouncing ideas off, you get a coach.
Yeah.
Fuck me, your time just drops, doesn't it?
Drops massively.
Going towards the running club, it's mad how it all started really, because it was Joe what it was. We were in there in the schoolyard and Kieran Owens and my kid goes to the same school, and he said, "John, I know you've done some marathons before. I want to do a marathon. I'm thinking of doing one. Can you help me get through it? Not coach me type thing, just run with me and and we'll book one." So I went home that day because I booked Florence. I said, Kieran, Florence was booked, we're doing Florence. She went, oh, fucking hell, that was fast way. I said, okay, you asked me to do something, we're going to do
Don't
it.
give me an idea or that happens.
I could go backstage, I just do it straight away. But then I made a man, Steve Knowles, was in Glastonbury, and he phoned up one more and said, oh, John, I've drank too much last night, I need to sort my life out. I want to book something. I said, funny you just called me this day. I said, I've just booked a marathon, I'm booking you on it. And then Jamie A, obviously big drinker at night, he said, okay, I'll do it, yeah. Lee Sheridan, and who else?
Chucky went, didn't he? Dave?
Chucky went, yeah. And there's a photo of us all, 5 of us. Anyway, we went to Florence and done it. And we're all just a gang of normal lads. And we all done really well. But Jamie A was flying with me at the in the training. But Lee Sheridan got injured. And fair play to Jamie. Lee still done it, but Jamie ran round with Lee. And Jamie could have really done really well that day. But he sort of like sacrificed his day to help Lee get through it. Yeah. And we had a great weekend over there. And then when we come back, that's when the ball started rolling with the club, because I think Kieran Owens' uncle said, oh, you like the fucking Marsh Lane Harriers use, and that's where the name comes from.
That's where the name comes from.
Because our name wasn't even formed then. The club didn't even, it weren't really a club as such then.
Just a bit of a social.
Yeah, I think someone at the bevy with Kieran's uncle, Tony.
Mark
Owens.
Tony's dad, isn't it?
Yeah, Tony's dad. And he went, oh, fucking hell, the fucking Marsh Lane Harriers or so. Yeah, I went, that's our name. That's it.
And how long ago was this then?
Oh, that was 2018. The marathon was 2018, November. Florence. When we got back, we had a little break for Christmas and that. And then we started running in January 2019 at the lakeside, and that's when Paolo come on then. You come February, didn't you?
February I came, and then the race for the Pearl Half Marathon was the
That was our first official race, wasn't it? It was the last one, wasn't it? Not the last.
No,
that was the start of lockdown, wasn't it?
Yeah, we just scraped that in, and then lockdown broke out, then COVID broke out.
Of course, yeah, so it was only really going maybe like 6 months then before.
Yeah, not even that.
There wasn't any intention in the Florence Marathon of starting this big running club. It was just like 5 lads who were just going for a run together on a weekend.
It just happened really, didn't it? It just happened, and then
the big thing was the track. Yeah. That's what got people's attention really. Obviously, because we weren't supposed to be running all marathons, because like we're basically getting a party animals years ago, they all drinks every weekend and solly and stuff like that. So we weren't meant to be running marathons, but we was. So people are going, fucking hell, if these can do it, we can do it. Yeah. And then when the track kicked in, that just got people's attention really.
Explain about the track then when you say.
Because there's a running track on Rimrose Valley Chaffers, and it was used years ago by, was it Waterloo Running Club? Southport Waterloo. So. And then they moved, and then it just got derelict and abandoned, and then all the grass grew over the track, and you couldn't even see the track. So I was lying on the couch one day, and I thought, you know what, fucking running around roads, dodging cars, dodging lorries, dodging buses, eating fumes. I said, there's got to be a better way to run than this, and I thought, that track's over there. Because I live right by the track. So I phoned down Michael, he lives 2 doors down. I said, Michael, come with me for a minute, we're going for a walk. So I thought we'd just get there. I thought
your missus must sit there with all your ideas going, fucking hell.
She goes, what are you thinking of now? I say, oh, fucking, I don't know. And I thought we could get there with a couple of spades, the whole club. At this time, there's about 20, 30 people in the club by this time. I thought we'd get there with a few spades, dig it up, and go, yeah, there's the track. And when I got there, I thought, fucking hell, it's bigger than I thought. It's like mould and grass everywhere. You couldn't even see the track. So I phoned Danny Griffiths, who's like a civil engineer. I said, Dan, can you come down? Have a look at this track for us. Got a little bit of an idea. When he looked at it, he went, John, it's a piece of piss, honestly. You get like a digger, you put the bucket down and just drive forward, and it just takes all the moss and all the old grass up, and there's the track. And true to his word, it was. But the hardest part was the council really, getting them on board, because they were sort of like, start again. It was Linda Gaskell and Rimrose Valley Friends.
Yeah.
They tried to do it the year before, but sort of fell short with contacts and funding. And because we've got a wide range of contacts, friends who all do different kinds of trades, it was quite easy for us. So we just got there and got it done for nothing really. Like Basha, for example, lent us a bit of machinery, so did Juicy. And Yikesy drove the machine. Danny Griffiths got his machine from his work, which probably shouldn't have said then, but he did. Sorry, Danny. And it just got done like that.
Even at the start of this little journey for the Marsh Lane Harriers, it just already has that community feel, doesn't it? By people just jumping in and getting involved.
The whole benefit was, and like, people were calling down who couldn't work with us because they had the kids and that would come down with like bottles of water and ice cream and sandwiches for us, because they knew we were there all day. Roasting. It was one of the hottest weekends there's ever been.
When's this, like last year?
Lockdown, beginning of lockdown, because we had to have like COVID guidelines of barriers
really,
and
yeah.
stuff like that up and no
Fucking hell.
public coming and
The
stuff
biggest,
like that.
the biggest thing with the council really agreeing to it, and they were saying, listen, you can, well, when they said they said, okay, you can do it, but we can't supply any funding or maintenance costs. So listen, we'll do it all, don't worry. Because the track's 8 metres wide, or obviously 400 metres round, they said you can only go 4 metres width all the way round. I was like, okay, and they said, see how that goes first. So we've done that, but on the first day, I said, it'll take about 12 hours to do on Saturday morning. On the first day, it was like 8:30 at night, and it's 40 metres to go. We've been there about 12-13 hours, and the machine broke. Like, are you fucking joking? Because I think the filter, because it was dead dusty, because the sun was down and there was no water about, all the track was just dusting up and that, and it went in the machine's filters, I think, and messed the machine up. So I got there Sunday morning after that day. I thought I'm gutted here, standing on the track thinking there's only 40 metres left, so I phoned Basher, and he come down and said, here's my keys to the lock-up, go and get the machine and bring it down. So I got Juicy, he come and drove it, and we had the roller, what's it called, the fucking, when you roll the ground, goes flat.
Yeah.
So we were all operating in that. We were doing the machines on the Sunday afternoon. We got it done.
Well done.
I just all for Monday. Yeah. I promised people it'd be done Monday.
We had the session Wednesday. We had the session planned in Wednesday. So
I hate saying it. As you say, if you say something,
you've got to
You've got to do it. Yeah.
That's what I think. If you say it, go and do it.
After this podcast, John, people are going to be going, I've got something I need doing. Hey, John, do you know anyone who can sort this?
But then the next lot, well, in the first few days, the track was bouncing. I was only 4 metres width. So I said, listen, to council, we need to apply for the next 4 metres to the whole width. That took a bit of to and fro, but in the end they agreed. And that we got 2 machines that day, I think, or one big one.
No, we had one big one.
But people just load machines. King's Construction, fair enough, because I think Jakey knew someone who worked there. They supplied this big, massive JCB and a driver, all free of charge. So people have been helping out loads, like we've done 2 days, but you know what, though, it sounded like a bit of a chore, but it wasn't. I loved it.
Great,
it was boss laugh, everyone have a good, like,
people coming down with sarnies and that, and our fella went, it's great this, give us 20 quid to go into the funding, because he used to run there as a kid.
Wow.
I didn't realise how big it was going to be, and then people were coming over. Dennis Gill, he was a coach there. He brought down all the old photos of the original track, all the kids running clubs, and do you know what? Everyone was going, it's great, this great, and I thought, fucking hell,
that's powerful.
Yeah.
For me, it was just off the couch and do it, but I didn't realise what impact it was going to have. Honestly, I didn't.
Well, it's probably made a lot of people in the community in that area sad seeing it go the way it was, haven't they?
Yeah. And you couldn't even see the track. You couldn't physically see it. There'd been like a little, because people have been running around the inside, on the inside lane, but they sort of created a tiny little lane about this big because the feet. That was it. That's the only part that you could see. It was crazy. You wouldn't even know it was there.
Yeah, people are seeing it, aren't they? Seeing you getting to work thinking, fucking hell, is right, great, this, great for the area.
Yeah. But now, there's a call today with the council on the Zoom call, and I think it's going to be booming around there soon, like really good. I think we're trying to apply for lighting on there, because we've had to revert going back to the roads this winter, because the dark nights there's no lights on there, it's just pitch black. Which we don't mind doing, but we don't really want to do that. So this year, this winter, we're going to be having lights on there, I reckon, if the council agree.
And what is the kind of big plan for it then? What, I mean, if someone said to you, like, you know, what do you want the plan, what do you want this track to look like?
I think the potential there is huge. It should be a top of the range facility, I think.
Like clubhouse and all that kind of thing there.
Yeah, pavilion. Can't mention clubhouse, because probably they attract the ale. You've got to be a bit savvy with that one.
Pavilion changing rooms. A bit of a covered area, no, if it's raining. We have a yoga teacher coming down from Liverpool Yoga Studios, Danielle Phelps. In the summer, we do our run and a bit of yoga at the end. People loved it. Yeah. The community were hungry for this. The community's starving for this sort of activity to go on. And like 120 people there on a Wednesday night.
Jesus, there's a lot of people. 120 people is a lot of people.
Yeah. And do you know what? It was lovely to see as well. People, especially in the girls, because girls get nervous about going to big places with lads especially and all that, and some girls were coming and they were brand new, and even some lads were brand new at it, and we were saying, listen, don't be worrying that people are going dead fast, you just come and do your own thing. There's no like, here's the best group, here's the worst group, there's none of that, because people get like, What's the word about like anxious and nervous about being in the... I said everyone starts together and everyone finishes together. There's no set like who's the best and who's the worst. Because if that doesn't work...
We sort of design the sessions to be inclusive for everybody, so you start and stop at the same time.
Even you, Tom.
You might do 4
Listen, I'm sold.
You might do 1 lap in a minute, you might do 3 laps in a minute, do you know what I mean? But you're starting and running at the same time, so everyone feels part of it, and that's the beauty of it.
It's massive, mate. And I remember, like say, I'd done the running and I kind of put it to bed after that record, and then just felt so fucking shit last year with lockdown, and without going into all that, everyone hated it for different reasons. I fucking hated it, and I thought, my head's falling off here. I need to fucking get myself back to feeling happy again. And I'd seen obviously the Harriers stuff and all that on the Instagram, and I know Robbo from running, and I'd obviously seen you, and I was like, it's funny, like you talk about like maybe girls getting anxious about maybe joining a gym. I was a bit like, fucking hell, there's big group. You sometimes like that, aren't you, with people?
You said that at the beginning of January on the Sunday morning.
There's a big number of people, and that in itself makes people anxious.
And I was like, fuck, I need to bite the bullet there, and know Blackie as well. And I thought, it's that thing as well. I was like, told them, I think I text Blackie or you, and I was like, right, I'm gonna come there Sunday, and then it's just like, right, I've said it now. And I turned up, and it was like, you recognise more people than you think you would, and then you're like, oh, hello, and then I felt at home straight away. And then after that run, I was like, right, that's it, I'm back on it now.
It's an investment in yourself, man. The Sunday mornings, it's massive. At the start of the year, we had like 60, 70 people, and then the phone is buzzing all day, the Instagram's on fire, because people are going home, and it's an investment. If you care about yourself, you go and do this, because it's an investment for your life that day, and then you carry that on through your week, and that you know yourself and how good you feel after your Sunday morning run. It's massive for me, Sunday morning.
What's killed it a bit now, what's not killed it because we're still flying, it's the lockdown. We need this to finish now, because as Parry said, on the Sunday mornings there'd be like 60 people all meeting up and going for like a 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 mile run, and it was just perfect. It was brilliant. But there's a bit of stucture to it, isn't it? Like there's three groups, 3 paces. So there's a 9:30 pace group who started a little bit earlier, then there's a 8:30 pace group that start, and then the 7:30 pace group start then, and then we all finish around the same time.
But won't you be able to all do it all at the same time from the 12th of April? Is it the 12th of April?
I think it's
the end of March, isn't it?
End of March.
Outdoor sports.
Outdoor sports.
Of so no restriction in terms of numbers.
Yeah, I think we'll be alright then. But it's like, we've had day 1 beginners come here, and they've done like up to like 15, 16 miles now. You know what I mean? Just had a mile on, so don't look shocked.
I always said to Parley, and people come and join, I said the club wasn't started, or it's not designed for me and him, because me and him can run. We're not bad runners. He's obviously a great runner. It's designed, for example, if I don't mind me using his name, Paul Stoll, my best mate. He attempted 3 5Ks, and he just physically couldn't do it. He kept breaking down. I think on our last Sunday service we were doing before the lockdown, he was doing 20 miles.
Jesus.
God, and that's
Tom, just adding 1 a week.
God, 3 times he phoned me, like, upset, John, I just can't break that fucking 5K. I think his shins kept going and stuff like that, and he's doing now comfortable. It's comfortable. Yeah. That's
so
what the club designed for.
Jesus.
It's meant for people like that, because we're always going to run, and we're always going to do not too bad with the running. Getting new people in, getting new people into it. That's what it is.
For people's mental health as well, mate, I've felt so lonely this past 12 months, because you know everything. And then I think what running can do, and you're meeting new people, and you're getting this new community that's been there, but you just didn't really know about it. For your mental health, like I say, you felt so fucking fed up moaning to him on the phone, oh, should we do a podcast this week just to see other people and just to not be lonely, and then you think, hell, once you're part of it, it's massive. And whether you are wanting to fucking get PBs or just get out,
just meet
I can't encourage it enough. It's again, this has got a big Liverpool following, but also people around the UK, and I think if people are listening, start your little own running club. Do you know what I mean?
I've seen that coming from this. You know, there's a lot of other little groups coming and taking the lead of Instagram and hammering. We put stuff on. I put everything on the Instagram. It's not to say, look at me, look what I can do. It's like, look what you can do too.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
To inspire other people to start their own clubs.
That's what it's about.
We had a guy off the podcast, mate. I feel so rude. I forgot his name. I speak to him on Instagram. Down south. And he listened to a podcast we done with Mark Scano, who done the 5 a.m. morning thing, rituals. He started doing it down south in, like, I think it was Plymouth or Portsmouth. And he's in, like, the paper in Portsmouth, and he's, like, mentions the podcast, and I'm like, and it's like, so they took this little idea and I was like, ran with it and doing it down south, which I thought was fucking brilliant, you know what I mean? So if anyone's listening about the running, and you're just you and a few of your mates, and there's not a running club. Fucking
just get out, start one, or just start. Because honestly, the first few runs you do if you're brand new, they hurt, they will, but you just got to keep at it for a couple of weeks, and then it starts becoming comfortable, it starts becoming nice. People don't like running, or some people don't like running because they haven't tried before, or they aren't very good at it. Once you start doing it and the time start coming down, you start losing a bit of timber, then you start going, fucking hell.
Yeah, that's when the competitive juices start going.
And then you start kicking on. Just don't give in the first couple of runs. It was not for me, this, because it's for everyone.
And the barriers to entry are just so, like, you just turn up. The barriers to entry, like, you don't. It's not like playing. You don't. It's not like playing golf. You need to be part of that sort of clique or anything.
Pair of short t-shirt and you're off.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
What's the plan then with so obviously the plan is that, like, the big goal then with regards to making it more official, if you like, is the track. That's like the big focus, isn't
it? So it's all year round training, and there's no reason to stop.
With the lighting and the track, when we get a proper, because we're getting a surface now. What we did with the track, it was very good. Obviously with the quality, I mean, because we're just a gang of jobbers, and we've done the best we could, and it was really good, wasn't it?
All like the first round.
The job was really good. But obviously now the wear and tears, a few little divots here and there, because it needs the proper treatment. So we're getting a company to come in and do a proper track, like not the Netherlands Sports Centre. That's like 900 grand. That's like crazy money.
Is it really? For 400 metres, 900 grand.
Yes, 8 lanes.
Between 900. So six lane track is about 500 grand, and an 8, which is ours, is going to be about 900 grand. Disgusting money.
Any secret millionaires who just want, like you see that programme?
All of you new ones. So we're going to go for this track is it's type of grit, gravel or cinder track that's known. To resurface this one, now we've got people down, the base is there for it. We're going to chop up the material, and this company going to come in and do it properly, like, and then have the lines on it again, like it was years ago, basically. Back to its full potential. But then you can start having schools on there, doing sports days and do stuff like that. Open it to everyone.
Because usually, I mean, he's getting any help from the council and stuff like, or is this all like fundraising now, is it now?
We've been working behind the scenes, getting funding off companies and funding off various people and raising money, like through the challenges we're going to do, which we'll probably talk about in a minute. But yeah, because the council are skint really, and they've probably got loads of other projects going on, but probably not skint really, I'm just lying. We've got millionaires. Sorry, Dave Thompson.
No, I know what you mean though, and like, listen, without getting all political and that, like, but it is a shame though if they saw the benefit of like running. Do you know what I mean?
Think they are on it. We've on Zoom this morning to them, and they're like, they know the benefit and how busy it's been, and
like the community aspect of it and stuff, and like
the only thing that could stop us massively is, but not the residents. That being knocking on doors when we started and said, listen, here's what we're doing, I'm John Carragher, here's what we're planning, here's what we're doing, any objective, and they're saying, no, it's great, but there's been a couple with the parking, people are rushing to get there and parking in someone's drive and saying, what are you doing parking that for, you fucking idiot? A few complaints just get us.
Yeah, it's just going to piss people off.
So I'm saying to people, just if you live local, walk there, or jog there, or cycle there, don't park and leave your car and block someone in, because then that'll just the whole thing up.
Well, I think, that's why people like us, because we're going to be seen and getting on the shovel ourselves in the wheel at it, and if you give a little for your heart, properly give, and without trying to, not just giving to receive back. If you just give naturally, then you will receive a lot back, like, and
mate, and
we have tenfold now.
Me and Tom say this all the time, and mate, this podcast is living proof. We said, I've done it with like this speaking and stuff. Anything I've tried to do in my life and I've thought, I'll make me a few quid this or it's fucking a lot of the time fell on its ass, you know. And any time I've done something because I've thought, whether it fucking makes me money or it doesn't, I enjoy this. It's just my passion. It's flew. Like the motivational speaking for me, it's took me all around the world. I've earned a good living out of it. The podcast is something I thought, if one person listens or 10, fucking 2 years on with it sitting here in an office, and it's, you know what I mean? Because so when you're doing something like you just said there, Parley, where you're not doing it to receive, you're doing it because this is good. I feel good about it.
The people,
it's
well,
massive.
naturally received then anyway.
Massive.
Because when it really kicked in the track, and I thought, say, a handful of my mates come, a handful of his mates come, that'll do me. Not that ass there. But then when I started going bigger and bigger, I was thinking, okay, fair enough. You know, we can take this. But we weren't doing it, obviously. I don't know, we weren't, as you say, we weren't doing it to try and make a big point. We just running, and people just coming, Yeah, because what we do, we charge subs, don't we?
It's £2 a session and £1 for kids. But then, it's like it all goes in to give back. We give out some months we give out £450 vouchers. Now we might not even
JD.
take that in for JD Sports for runner of the month. A couple of girls, lads, and the kids. Some of the kids are unbelievable. Like a little boy there, Jude, who's just won for January. He's 8 years old, flying. Honest to God, he's going to try and do it a 10k, 6.2 miles. And he's only 8 years old, do you know what I mean?
That's what I think the big message is, mate, not only about the Marsh Lane Harriers in a running group sense, but also what you're doing with the track. That's what I think the bigger impact is, the community and getting people together. And especially young people, especially in this day and age where we moan all the time, don't we, about social media and people looking, fucking get kids out,
and
keep them
kids stuck
fit.
On
and
exactly. Because that weren't there for them. So you can't blame them being on the computer if there's nothing
there, 100%.
Give them a track. And I was there yesterday morning, it was chock. I was there for 3 hours yesterday, it was chocker. 5 people said to me, when are you coming back, we need this. Which is, it's just what it is. It can't happen at the moment, but people are hungry for it. They want it back.
I reckon the first one back will be a big number there, you know.
Bouncing,
what we're going to try and do as well, if you've been, Andy, if you can picture the first in the 100 metres, on the right of that, obviously there's the wildflower meadow in the middle, so you go down on the right, there's a bit of a grass area. We're going to try and, we have the council say yet again, obviously, going to build like a kids park there, and then next to that, build like a little workout area, like chin-up bars, dip bars, so people can go and do a bit of different training, if you will. Like they can do your sprints around the track and then go to the workout area, or if you're a single dad, single mum, you can go in and put your kid in the park with the lock gate and you can do your session while the kids
are playing.
Yeah, it's perfect, yeah.
We've got quite a bit covered, like.
I'm just imagining me a few years, hopefully the sooner the better, but maybe a couple of years down the line, turning up at a little pavilion there, coming in, getting
on a summer's day,
I'll be sitting there at a pint of something else.
You know what's great as well? I was saying this with Robbo when with all this lockdown, Robbo's being my little running partner and stuff, and what's great is I think that culture as well around it. It's like, again, serious runners, but like there's the social aspect. You're going out with your mates, you're having a beer and all that. And
you can't, because I imagine, I've never been to a running club before. I can imagine some of them take themselves a little bit too seriously.
Oh yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Whereas you come and have a laugh. It's like a football mentality. Like, say for example, we were out on the other weekend, or you go, oh no, I remember you last weekend, you done that and you fell over, or this, and you cane each other a bit. It gets people together.
Yeah,
of course it does,
I think it's brilliant.
This David Goggins then.
Oh, well, he only does 2 days.
This is is ridiculous. This.
So
just explain, just give background to people who don't know what this.
This is to raise money.
Raise money all for the club, for the area. Not for the club, sorry. It's for the track, for lighting and other funding. So there's a David Goggins challenge. He's some lunatic in America, next Navy SEAL. Big motivational fella. He does 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. So then that's 24 miles every day for 2 days. So me and John on his programme, I'll jump in with the programmes every couple of weeks and do a personal run, and we're out on a Friday night on a run. I'm like, what can we do to raise money? It's like this Goggins thing, and I think a girl who went out, does a bit of MMA, Rhiannon, she just done it for 2 days. They're not runners, we are. So it's like 2 days doesn't cut it. It's like, what about...
What, 14 miles didn't seem enough?
Nah, 48 miles didn't seem enough in 2 days, no. I don't think for us...
Because so we're trying to raise...
We said 7 days, and like, yeah, okay, 7 days. And
we're trying to raise big money, and to raise big money, you need your reaction when we told you what we're going to do. So people go, wow. To do 2 days, people go, oh, yeah, fair enough, yeah. But to raise money, you need something insane. You need something that you might fail at. So people say, I'd pay to watch him fail.
But people do want you to fail, so you want you to fail.
You want to raise big money.
Well, mate, I'm not just saying this because you just said this. My big thing, I've said it loads of times, and people have... I say it all the time. I fucking hate giving money to charity. For shit challenges.
Yeah, and now you feel like you have to.
You know, when people say they're going to I need to raise 300 quid, I'm going to jump out of a plane. I go, I'd jump out of a plane for free.
I'd pay it.
Yeah. It's like, it's paying you to do something that you want to do. I wanted you see go through the fucking paying barrier.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I said to him? On day 3 and 4, we'll be like fucking zombies, won't we? We'll be ghosts, but then you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Only 2 days to go. I think we'll do it, but I don't think I've realised how hard this is going to be.
No.
So I'm excited.
So how many days are you doing it for again?
7. So
7 days.
23rd of April.
Friday afternoon,
I think
4
it's the
p.m.
23rd, 4 p.m. right through.
Yeah, so
Monday,
here's the
Tuesday,
structure.
Wednesday,
So it's
Thursday.
4 p.m. Friday we start, 4 miles. 8 p.m, 4 miles. 12 a.m. or p.m, whatever it is, 4 miles. 4 a.m, 4 miles. 8 a.m, 4 miles.
Are you like
12.
Saturday morning now and
Bang,
then?
bang, bang, all the way till the next Friday.
Till the 30th there. So you start there on the Friday, yeah?
Yeah.
Right to
hell.
there.
And
So
then,
6 runs, 6 runs, 6 runs, 6, 6, 6, and then 6. Yeah.
How are you gonna
Sleep?
yeah. Like
know.
well, I've got a little van there. It suits me for everything I'm doing. The baby loves it. Like, there's sunroof open and stuff to look at the stars. We have picnics in the woods, and I'm excited to finish a run outside John's at like 4 in the morning and jump in the back of there, have a couple of hours kip. He knocks on the window in the morning, cup of tea, and then we go and
It's
do
going to
another
be
4
a bit
miles.
like, it's going to be
I'm
tough.
excited
Like.
for that, mate.
The sleep
That's what I'm
deprivation
looking
will be the
forward to.
worst.
That'll be the
you're only,
Sleep
cause I was gonna say, if you say
That'll be bad.
you do your first run at 4 in the afternoon, how fast are you looking on running these 4 miles?
8.5, 8
Just,
in it.
yeah, just
Even
get
s-
it done. It's like
35 minutes or so.
You're not racing it. You're not racing it, but you also don't want to go
Take too long.
too long, and then because you're
And then you
losing your
rest.
rest,
You
aren't
lose
you?
your
So
rest,
you
yeah.
need to get it right.
The
and-
ones in the middle of the night, they'll be the trickiest. Obviously, because we're going to probably have to go home at, say finish at 4:30 or
Yeah.
25 to 5. In the same kit, just stay in bed, bit of water or whatever, and then have about 2 hours sleep, 2.5 hours sleep, up again. But we have to do a whole stretching that, as well.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking that this morning. Of, you're going to get through, and it's a lot of miles, isn't it? So you are going to seize up, and I think we'll be on to Joanne's. We'll be going into Joanne's for some yoga, I think.
We'll have to, won't we?
Because I think is you read about like Eddie Izzard and stuff, and does like about 42 marathons, which is an unbelievable achievement. But I think the difference with that challenge is, you do a marathon,
You've
you're done then. You just fucking have 10 hours kib if you
I
need.
thought about that myself, and I thought, would you rather just do 7 marathons, 7 days? But again, that'd be easier, I think.
I think so, yeah. Because when you're finishing,
You've got 18 hours to recover to the next one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So when you do your run at say midnight, you're back in, you get into bed. So you do your run at 8 at night. By 8:45, you've stretched off and that, and you're chilling out maybe on the couch or whatever. Try and get your head down. You wake up at 10 to 12.
Yeah, you
A few stretches and that. You go again. You finish at 20 to 1. A bit of stretching and all that. Into bed at 1. Fucking what? 3.
again, aren't you? You're ready.
You're only ever gonna. I can only imagine you're probably only gonna get about 2.5 hours.
I think that's the beauty of it, mate.
Oh, God, I thought it was easy. I was like, fuck it.
It's not easy, but it's good. I can't wait.
I like getting involved in something that's really tough. Like getting stuck in. Because there's going to be times where we're going to run a format and they're going to speak to each other.
Yeah.
Think I fucking hate him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like
I
that,
fucking hate him. If they even look at me, one of them was, but then at the end of it, imagine how good you're going to feel.
Oh yeah.
Incredible.
It's what we're going to
Same
achieve from it for
Yeah.
for the community. And
Got to do a
for
good
everybody.
playlist there, Paulie. Fuck me.
I don't
And
even
also,
listen to music
if-
when they run now.
I'm going to have to, some kind of thing.
If the way that when you finish it at that time, knowing it's all right, knowing that in 12 hours you can go to sleep and then wake up, but knowing that once you've got change, or say you don't even get changed, and then you knowing that in your own mind that you've got less than 3 hours now to try
You're
and
not
fall
getting
asleep.
are
No,
you?
are you fuck?
You're not getting asleep.
That's the thing that would fuck with my
The
head.
daytime, so from 12 in the afternoon till 8 at night, or I probably wouldn't sleep in between, but after the 12 midnight one, I'll be definitely getting a few hours kept there.
No, I think after a few days though, you'll be sleeping
Yeah,
in the
it's
day.
Sleeping in the day and
where'd you fit the food in
I
there?
know. That's all part of the.
Yeah.
You've got the
No,
plan,
yeah.
haven't you?
Yeah.
But
It's
when
gonna
we
be
were
so. I feel like Bob said, it's gonna be interesting watching you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
So
mean?
what a chance of a live
pick your thing, pick your slot wisely.
Yeah, to jump
see if
to
there's
jump on it.
paper, like-
Yeah.
What's that, 12 midnight, Andy, yeah? Outside, night place one.
We were in John's planning this and doing the GoFundMe page. And it's like, shall we do a 2-weeker? And he went,
Fucking hell.
he went, no lad, he said, I've got work. And Leanne there, she is a damn. Leanne made our tea, cut us some watermelon up, cups of tea, biscuits, and then she went, John, you've also got a wife and 3 kids. He went, fucking hell, I forgot about it.
Oh, damn, fucking hell, yeah.
But a week's enough.
How are they doing
A week's
anyway?
enough for that.
Your missus is gonna love you jumping in bed every night all sweaty. We just ran 4 miles. Oh,
Leaving the solly, have you?
it's some effort.
No, but it's going to be interesting, it is, and that's why people will donate. Because people, as you say, for me, into run half a marathon to get charity, people go, fuck, I can do that
Yeah.
easily.
So you can't do it.
Easy challenges shouldn't be done.
No.
You should do a hard one. That
It made me laugh. I used to, my sister, God love her, like, listen, she's raising money for charity and that's fantastic. I love it. And she goes, raising money out and walking 10,000 steps a day. I was like, what the fuck, what? Backwards or something, like, what the fuck?
On your hands.
I know.
Yeah.
I walked the dog 10,000 steps a day. I was like, fuck off, I'm not giving you money for that. Yeah, I know. And so yeah, when I see stuff like that, I'm like, yeah, fucking hell, I'd give money to that, because that's a good point you made. I think when you get into bed and you go, right, I'm up in 3 hours, I find it difficult to sleep long anyway.
You're after a run.
Like when you go on holiday and you're up at 4 in the morning, you don't really sleep, do you? Because you know I've got to get up. I might miss my alarm here.
Yeah.
Because we were going to say, weren't we, about getting other lads on it with us doing it, but then no disrespect to the lads in the cook, we know for a fact we wouldn't miss one.
It's like
club.
waiting, so it's
You know,
like,
someone might
I've
sleep
slept in, it'll be 10
you gotta wait
minutes.
for someone. We
know
don't want
what I
to leave
mean?
too much responsibility on other people's shoulders. It's just going to be our thing and we're just going to do it.
And if lads can jump in on different runs, it'd be great, won't it?
James going to do a 4 mile with us, yourself, I think a few other people.
Tom.
Me, yeah.
You'll have to now.
You can have the 4
Your Jay couldn't run 4 miles in 35 minutes.
Fucking hell, push it now. You know what? He likes the running. He
Yeah.
doesn't like the long distance. He likes the short, sharp 5Ks.
He was moving the other week, weren't he?
Yeah. He was actually. Yeah, we've been doing the sprints round by his, because the key park in Brundle Sands where James lived, Tom, it's exactly a mile, like a loop. It's perfect. So we've been going round there in this like virtual, on our virtual run club. And we've been doing that, and he's done one with us.
Yeah, I've ran with him a few times. Yeah, he was going to do the marathon, wasn't he? And he got
Do you know
injured or
what? That
something.
was dead funny. You know, a couple of years ago, right, at Christmas, and it's hard to buy a millionaire something. You can't buy it for whole, because you got everything. So I thought, you know, he's getting to the running. I'll buy him a marathon place, because he said he's going to do the marathon. And I've told what, I should even mind first, because he gave me the best present I've ever had in my whole life. It was a Glastonbury VIP ticket. I've never been to Glastonbury in my life. I've never been now, there's been 2 lockdowns. Still way to go. And I went, oh my God, Glastonbury, yes! So I was buzzing off the guy. You should have seen the smile on my face. I think I jumped through the fucking ceiling, touched the roof. And then I went, yeah, open yours. No. He went, where's mine? I thought, oh shit. I've given him a fucking marathon place here. And he opened it. Oh yeah, nice one. I felt fucking terrible. He didn't do it in the end. I think he made some kind of excuse, to be fair. So I know you're listening. He made some kind of excuse. I don't know what it was. Oh, I've got to go here somewhere. Yeah. Some people aren't into the big runs. They just aren't. And it's our Michael, my cousin, he's a good runner, but he only likes the half marathons and 10Ks. I think he will do one eventually, because you're getting caught up in the club now. He's jumped on Parley's programme. But some people, as me and Tom were saying before, 26 miles. You must have run 26 miles.
Mate, I'll be deadly honest, mate, and like say we're gonna.
Go on, mate.
I'm gonna where your coaching Parley break my own 10k record again, and I love the running and I love everything that we spoke about. However, I'm still not sold on the marathons. Because of what they're fucking hard, like they are. It's totally different running. I think like I love a half. I've got decent times at 5k, 10k half marathon. I can do a 5k in 18 minutes, a 10k in 37, and a half in 1:30.
There you go. You can do a sub 3.
But I thought that, and I done a 4:20.
Yeah.
I just died on it.
The last bit was it?
You didn't do the
just
full.
I hated it.
Oh, you've done one
I've done a marathon, 4:20, and I fucking hated it.
But you're on course for a good time, and then something happened?
18 miles. I was doing like 7.5 minute miles or something like that, like 7:45s, and then I hated it. So I'd like to get to a point where I'm talking like you guys are, saying I want to do the big 6 and all this and that, but it's that's what I mean. That's why the respect needs to get put on you when you say the marathons, because they're so
when I'm on the last 2 miles of my marathons, honestly, I swear on my kids' lives I'm never doing another one. I promise you, the pain's that bad. It really is, for me anyway. And that's because I've been training properly. I imagine the one in Berlin, it'd be a lot easier.
Berlin will be
But I've swore on my kids' lives. I actually spat on my hand. I spit on my kids' lives. I'm never going to do another one. And as soon as you finish, you feel great.
Of the beer.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And you feel great, but the last 2 or 3 mile, or obviously Randy's gone through there, the last 6 miles or 5 miles, sort you. But every runner should at least try and complete one.
Yeah, you haven't really sold me on this marathon game.
Haven't I? No.
Have a chat with me afterwards without all that doom and gloomy. It would be.
I like the fact of going the Boston,
North
Korea, Pyongyang.
Yeah. That'd be good.
next year.
When are you going to go there? You know what I mean? You're not going there any other time, are you?
No, exactly, yeah.
But they say you forget the pain of a marathon, that's why you book another one.
Do you know what? The only reason I've had the pain, because I haven't been doing the training we've been doing now. Honestly, when I do this 650 pace, it'll be short, but it won't be half as short as it's been before. Because it's meant to be short because you're running a marathon.
Yeah.
What's the GoFundMe page thing so I can put people onto that?
So we've got a website going live next week, marshandharriers.co.uk.
So by the time this episode goes out, it will all be live. A few weeks' time.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be live then, yeah. So we'll put the link on there.
Marshlaneharriers.co.uk.
Yeah.
And like I say, there's no I'm not being biased because I'm kind of part of this, but there's so many things to support and stuff, but this I think is something for fucking everyone. This,
yeah, it is.
Do you know what I mean? It's people who enjoy running, you know, the mental health side, that they're going for the records, the PBs, the community aspect. It's like what you said before, people are crying out for it, especially with what's gone on this past year.
Yeah.
I can only speak for my personal, like these last 7 weeks, while we're in the middle of Feb now, I felt fucking great.
Yeah.
The WhatsApp group with the Harriers and that, sometimes if you don't feel like going for a run, you look at that, people have been for a run, you're like, fucking hell, like, come on.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like gearing each other up, aren't they, on the WhatsApp group? Because at the start, there's a few big characters in there, and they were posting stuff in the usual groups. I don't want to say, like, videos of this and videos of that. And I said, listen, knock that on the head. I said, and people were leaving the group, like real runners. I said, listen, we can't have people leaving the group because you're all talking shite. I said, it's not happening. I said, so either wrap it up or fuck off, basically. And it's been fine. But there's a couple of people who put a few...
They're quite famous, these voice notes. We should try and get one and put it on, you know, and play it now, after he said that, and play it.
Oh, yeah.
Note.
I've lost me a few times with the group, like, but we've got to, because it's...
Or just fuming at people saying...
Do you know where on WhatsApp you can see John Carrot is typing, and you can see John Carrot is recording voice note, and it goes on for ages, and you think, is he just holding the button here? But
everyone loves it.
When I first...
but sometimes when I lose it, I can go a little bit...
When I first joined it, I seen it wasn't a voice note, it was a bit of a like a warning, and I think someone had forwarded, it was like a few years ago, like Sterling's payslip or something, and and you were like, don't want none of this shit, it's about encouraging each other, lads, fuck all that group. Quite
People were
funny.
leaving the group. I thought, no, fuck that, we can't have people, like, real runners as well. And there's some people in the group just for a tag along because they're probably bored, and you can get that, and it's probably helping the mental health. But when they start putting all rubbish in, you're like, no, this is not this kind of group. So I said, set up a different group, and now they're called the Marsh Harriers Ultras. All the crap goes in that. I don't mean people. I mean all the videos and all that.
I need to get put into that group.
I know, yeah.
But because stuff was getting lost, like runs were getting lost and stuff like that, and it just went to shit.
So if you done your run, people wouldn't see it, because then as soon as you put your run on, there'll be loads of crap going in, and then no one will say well done.
No one's supporting you.
I ran their nose out.
Yeah, and that's the thing. As funny as it is, and like the little stories like that, and the drinks and that. What's definitely not to be lost is there's some fucking serious runners.
Yeah. And the beauty of it is it's competitive, but people are happy to see other people do well.
Yeah, that's correct.
Now I do the virtual run club on a Sunday night and I post it, and I've just threw in for Saturday 5k best effort.
I've seen that.
No cheating.
Mate, as soon as you done that, I screenshotted it, sent it to Robbo and was like, live out track this Saturday.
So you should go. Don't go to track. Go to Netherlands, not sport with the sport.
I've seen it a little bit next to it.
Yeah.
It's like a bike loop, son. It's a 1k, exactly 1k, so 5 laps is bang on 5k. And you know what? I got my best time on there the week, 18:20.
He could have got that anywhere though. He could have got that in the sand. He's on the best coaching programme in
Nice one, pal.
On that note though, mate, about getting a coach and stuff like that, again, I said it before, if you are serious about your running, I mean, if you want to enjoy it anyway, join a running club regardless. But if you do want to get serious about your running, a run coach is you've got to get it done. I noticed my time when I was training. You know Tony Clark, don't you?
We should have got that voice note too about when we hadn't done that 5k.
Oh yeah,
off Tony Clark.
He's done this like what was it? An elite 5k Cheshire by front. Only the best ones in the country.
Christleton is this one?
No, Mid-Cheshire Kingston.
Okay.
And he gets in, so he's there. So I said, listen, our main man's there. Let's all go and support him. So we hired the Brunny minibus, and we all got a bit of ale on our shoulders. We're all walking through this little tiny town, and everyone's going, "Who the fuck are these?" But we weren't doing nothing bad. We didn't have a couple of cans. We weren't like being boisterous or we were just singing.
They might have a different opinion.
Harley, Bombay. It was going, "Oh fucking hell!" And then there was Tony Clark.
No, it was Tony Clark was there, and the race organiser. No, Tony's well in with everyone running. He's top coach for Liverpool Harriers, and he's a boss fella, Tony. And he sent a voice note to James. We'll send you it and put it on for everyone to hear it. It was like, this town's never seen nothing like this.
He said, it was that crew there walking down singing there. He said, they're the fucking Marsh Lane Harriers, them lads. He said, this town's never seen nothing like it in its life.
Brilliant.
But you know what, again, I would go back to like the community side of it and getting everyone together. There was a run in Alton Park, weren't there?
Yeah.
Alton Park marathon and half marathon. And it was like on a racetrack.
Oh, on part of the racetrack. Yeah.
That was our first big run since the lock, because the lockdown eased, didn't it? And then it went back, obviously, which it is now. So when it eased, we took our chance and we hired 2 big fucking coaches, like 60 of us, all in our gear, all turned up together. And like that's what I want to try and do. Like I bet you marathons and half marathons I haven't seen nothing like that before.
No.
And that's what I want to keep pushing.
Yeah.
Everyone get there together. Big coaches, bring the kids. Bring a bit of ale for afterwards, all get down there. Let's take over, win the race if we can.
There's a little theme here coming.
There is a theme.
See his eyes light up.
You know what, as well, though,
There was 60 runners of our club, all at one track in this, and the company's called Run Through. Like they organise a few, and they're like, okay, now what's going on here? It was just brilliant, though.
Like a festival.
Yeah, basically.
And John, that's fucking great at the best of times, but again, now especially with the years everyone's had and everyone's feeling so fed up. I mean, I'd love that anyway, but now you're thinking you got that to look forward to in the summer, and you got, you know, you're running with these people 2-3 times a week, and then every, you know, couple of months there's a big fucking gang you all turn up to support each other.
Little day out, isn't it?
So what is it well? Because at the end of October, which Parley's got his little score to set up with Liverpool Marathon, that's 24th of October, that's our home leg. That's our home pitch. You know what I mean? Or home, whatever you want to call it. And there'll be a whole club of us there. Yeah. That'll be good to see.
That's the other big news as well. That's just happened the last few weeks. It's now an official club, innit?
Yes, official UK Athletics registered club. That was harder than a marathon. That, by the way, to
kind
get
of sort that out.
It's just before you tell us the story of that, again, I think that's massive with the community feel of like, you know, just a couple of lads getting together, and then within, less than 2 years, it's an official club. And it's about that fucking idea. If you want to do something, fucking just go and fucking do it.
Go and do it.
That passion and determination and people.
I think people, and Michael agrees with me, people are scared of failure.
Yeah.
If you fail, so what? Get up and go again. Try something else. People are scared of fail, and people are scared of trying in case they fail. You should just try.
We failed so many times with that.
How many times have I ran with you and failed?
No, but I mean with the affiliation.
Oh, with affiliation,
The applications kept going through. It's like, nah, bank. Go in the bank. You go to the bank. Can you have a meeting with the manager? No, we don't do meetings. It's COVID. Bang, 5 times, I think that.
We got knocked back from Barclays twice, knocked back from that West twice. We're with West now.
Just COVID. No new members. No one going in the bank to sit down with anyone.
And then on the forms are quite difficult to do. And we're not the cleverest gang in the bunch, so we've probably done a couple of boxes 6 wrong here and there. I blame Parley to but it was just too tough. It was hard.
But even that, in its sense, how many kinds of fair weather runners would go, you know what, fuck it, we'll just you'd fuck it off on the slide type thing.
But what's good though, because I didn't know Parley mentioned that if you get so many members, which you've already got, you get so many free places into London and big marathons. So then at the end of the year, you can raffle a London place, which people are killed to get that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think you get 2 places every 150 or so.
It goes 150 you get 2 places, and then 250 you get 3 places. I think the maximum 3 places per club. But we have to shout out to Greg Edwards there. Through at that bank.
He did actually.
Through at the bank account to get the affiliation.
Do you know what as well? Especially with Greg, we've got a lot of people who are willing to help out and who are very good at different aspects. So we built the track, and you've got Andy Barton who's doing our website now. Honestly, God, he thinks it's easy, but for us that'll just be the hardest thing in the world to do. And he's just done it like that, and you want to see when it goes live. You want to see it's unbelievable. And Greg again doing things like sorting the bank out for us. They're things that are easy to him, but for us it was tough.
Like proposals and that, isn't it? Funding proposals. He's a genius with words, and Andy Barnes like a wizard on the computer.
So we're quite lucky with lads in the group, in a wide range of lads.
You have created that though, haven't you, with that field, you know what I mean?
It's about asking people to do the right thing for us, like example, asking me to go and brick that wall, we couldn't do it, I'm a spark. ask me to put a light in, I can do it. It's finding the right thing to ask people, or the right job for them, not job.
I'll be the little motivational speaker for you, boys, when you say, at the end of those, David Goggins thing and all that, I'll be there with a little speech for you.
Just one thing. Have you got a financial target in mind for that David Goggins, or are you just leaving it completely open to donation?
But we have to put a target on the GoFundMe, so that's 50 grand on there. It's not just from that the 4x4x7 days. We've got a couple of things coming up this year. We've got a little boy Jude who's 8, who's going to do 2.2 miles every 2 hours for the day.
Wow.
He's of age.
Old.
My God, my little girl's 7 this year, getting 80, that would fucking not happen.
And Jude has asked his dad to do this. Jude's asked, can he do something to help
Wow.
out? So he's doing that.
At 8 we weren't doing that, was we? We were doing something bad or something
like that.
But he's
smashing windows and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Stupid things like that. He's run the marathon a day, 2.2 miles every 2 hours, and I've got no doubt he's going to do that.
Wow.
So we're going to jump in on that with him as well, do a little leg with him.
When's he doing that?
We're just going to
Summer.
start like Good Friday, maybe, so
Wow.
he's got a bit of recovery time to go back to school. He's a schoolboy, isn't he? So he's going to go back to school on
Tuesday. Then you've got to have the canal.
Then we've got the canal run. Now that's a serious run that leads to the Liverpool Canal. My mate Louis done it, and so one Sunday run we were going from the Loch and Key in Pool, and we ran along the canal from ours. There's only a couple of steps, and he went, "We're not running on the canal, are we?" I'd never seen fear in anyone's face like this. I said, no, this is a shortcut to the Loch and Key. He went, I'm done with the canal after that. I won't even walk on there with the kids.
I can imagine.
And he's an animal, Louis, with mileage, like he'll eat that up all day.
Yeah.
And it's scarred him.
So you've got lads running the
Liverpool's a good little group on that. I think
there's a good group, but Kieran's organising it very well. Kieran, he's going to do it over 3 days, because lads couldn't do that in 1 day, but probably some could. But you need to get a good amount of people on it, and you've got to be realistic with people's abilities. If people can't do it, then they shouldn't do it. No. But Kieran's organised has said that on the last day, he's going to leave 22 miles for the last day, and then the people in the club who couldn't do the whole trip, they can run the last 22 miles with us and run us in.
Brilliant.
And the last 22, so it gets everyone involved a bit, really.
Yeah.
But then the last one is the 5 marathons. We're doing 5 marathons and 5 consecutive weekends. A few people. So me and Paul, we've got Berlin, London, Chicago, our club one, and then Liverpool. That's like 5 weekends in a row. Yeah. But that could be pretty easy compared.
Which one are you jumping on, Tom?
Jesus, it never ends, is it?
But he phoned me, get on this. He phoned me, and he goes, "What about on the?" He said, "What's on?" We got like these dates set up. It starts on the 26th, then goes to the 3rd, then the 10th. He went, "What's on the 17th?" He said, because we've got Manchester on the 10th, haven't we? And I said, no, I'm going to Chicago. This is 2 minutes and 10 seconds phone call. This is why don't give him many ideas here now, because you'll be doing them. So it's like, what's on the 10th is Manchester, and then something's on the 17th. I said, no, Chicago. I'm going to Chicago on the 10th. He went, who is it? On my own, or my mate's coming. And he went, "Sam, I'm going to phone my dad now. He knows Chicago John. He's going to get me in Chicago."
Chicago John.
He booked Chicago that day, on that minute. Then
I said, can't be going over there by yourself. I said, I'm going to come with you, fucker.
Who's Chicago John?
Some fella, fella knows.
Dad knows, so Chicago John. He's going to Chicago.
He's a big Liverpool fan, so when I think Liverpool play every year in Chicago for the pre-season games. And they met each other. I don't know how, but fella's been there. He loves it over there, Chicago. But I said, if I can't get into the marathon on the Saturday before the race, I just run a marathon around the park. So I've done one in Chicago somewhere. But lucky enough, there's a company called Sports Tours, and you can pay him for any marathon you want, really. Saves raising money, because after a while, people get sick of trying to raise money. So I bought my New York one, and I bought Florence, and so I'm Berlin, sorry. So I was going to do Chicago through them, but I think Chicago John might. If you're listening, John, no pressure, John, if you're listening, okay.
And then Boston as well.
Boston's next year.
Boston Brian will sort you out, I imagine.
Boston Brian, right, okay. I haven't told you yet, Brian, but
you aren't just talking the talk saying, we need to raise 50 grand for this. You're fucking, you know what I mean?
And work for it,
We were saying it in the group. Someone was texting and I said, we're going to do this, going to do that. And someone said, fucking hell, we can't do all that. I said, listen, we're not. Let's talk about running group. We're a fucking running group. Let's go and run. Let's not talk about going running. Let's just do it. Not fucking about.
So this is why I've been dead excited about running some.
Yeah. Well, I can see why, yeah.
When the first Sunday comes back around again, jump in
All right, I'll be there.
and do. It's like this is.
You're surprised, I reckon.
Yeah, no. Listen, I'm lean, you know.
I listened to the podcast with Martin Bowen over the weekend. What you've done there.
Yeah.
I've seen you're a bit of a keen tennis player, aren't you?
Yeah.
Hey, good.
Yeah, I was very good, yeah.
Okay, now.
He's the back himself there, doesn't he?
No, I do by myself, yeah.
Down Sunday.
All right, yeah,
because,
what's the date? What date? When it all opens up?
Yeah, when it opens up, it's the first Sunday. I'm not going to tell you how long the run is, but
Where do you
we'll
live,
just
Tom?
do your run.
You're local or?
Wigan Way.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say come down Wednesday night for the track, because Wednesdays are good, or Saturday mornings for the track, because they're a bit more sprinty.
Mate, we could do a Sunday and then we could do a pod after it. We'll sort something.
Yeah. Let's do that.
But we go there, and it's a bar game. Day one's into it. It's like
You've got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
it's funny because
a little bit, but
Yeah.
new people get caught out. Now I get up. This is like it's just I'm just in flow with it. It's just passion for me. I don't miss one. I get up naturally for it. I have a green smoothie, double espresso, and I'm up in the toilet. I don't get caught out. And there's a little shout for our mate who gets caught out every week. Joe Matterson. We started on the beach after Christmas, and he went through 2 pairs of his birds gloves what he bought for Christmas in the sand dunes in Crosby. So just be careful you don't get caught out too. So there's your little shout out, Joe.
Brilliant. So, to summarise, GoFundMe, which will be on marshlaneharriers.co.uk.
yes.
Your plug for your coaching online
Is your performance coaching?
He's going to help me break this 10k record, so coaching wise again.
What's the time?
I want to go sub 37. If as long as I break 37.17, but
Pace is that? Do you mind me asking?
Sub
You know?
6.
6-minute mile pace, bang on, is 37.17.
Because my 10k, what I want to do is 38. I'm at 40 now. And I didn't know the time, so you said before 6 minutes for 38, is that right?
37.17 is bang on 6-minute mile.
I thought that'd be more towards 38, but fine, okay, yeah. That's my next target, yeah.
Yeah, you'll smash that, man.
So sub 37 is like 5:55, isn't it, ish?
Ish, yeah.
We get that. Bro. Where you going to do it?
We're going there.
Is there a date?
I'm going to work with Paolo. I wanted to just try and do the end of half, the 10k at the end of March, but do you reckon it'll go on now?
I don't think
Not
so,
Marsh.
just yet.
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But with the programme for the 10k world record, I think we'd just put it beyond reach of anyone for a few years.
Yeah,
Once you
just really go for it, yeah.
And we're going there. We're going to disguise in some sub 3 training. Also in there too.
You can need to sell me on that a bit, but yeah, so yeah, the coaching, and then obviously all these massive challenges.
Yeah.
It's
Honestly, all the best. Look, I'm sure
Thanks,
you'll.
lad. Thanks, son.
I'm sure you'll smash it.
Bossing it,
Anything you want to plug, John? Anything?
No, not really, no.
If anyone's listening who's got a disused running track that wants to, John will sort it out.
Paul, Andy Grant and Tom.
Nah, lads, yeah, like again, I knew I selfishly wanted to speak to you anyway about running. I love running, but what you're doing as well for the area, the community, and everything, it's brilliant, lads. So up the Marsh Lane Harriers. Thanks for
Harriers.
The Harriers, yeah.
Thanks, lads.
Thank you so much.
for having us.
Thank you very much.